Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to part 4 of our series answering the question, what if Germany won the Second World War? The day is January 1st. The year is 1938, and we will be walking through this whole year to the end of 1939, covering off the key political, military, economic, and national objectives to help set Germany up to win the Second World War. To quickly recap the last video, in 1937, we were able to annex the Czechs, or modern-day Czech Republic, and created Slovakia as its own independent state, which is, I believe, a puppet of the German Reich and is allied to us. We've been focusing on increasing our military production with building military factories and, in general, building up the German army, which we now have got almost a new full line of infantry divisions ready to be deployed to the field. Let's get them out into the front. All right, I'm going to assign these guys to the Polish front, the eastern side, where von Rundstedt is currently commanding. We are low on manpower. That's okay. We can switch that through, changing our conscription strategy from limited to extensive. We're close to getting our treaty with the USSR in place, which will give us a 50% research bonus to the Panzerkampfwagen 3, which we're going to really, the biggest goal for us to achieve in 38 is establishing Germany's Panzer forces to the point where ideally I've got two decently sized Panzer armies. One that I'll be positioning up here in Königsberg to swoop to the west, and the other that I'll be positioning on the eastern front with Germany and Poland to fly east in a pincer maneuver. There's two Panzer armies in place, so I'll keep on building that up. I'd like to have 4, ideally, come Paris, and maybe even 6 when we get to the Soviet Union. So that's really our big goal, is we want to get our Panzer units set up correctly. With that said, I'm going to check in with my Panzer division. We've got a decent pool of army experience right now. I might actually get my paratroopers training so they can get some experience up for us as well. And because they're green, which is not good, we want them to be better trained than that. Let's go and open up our Panzer division template. So what else can we add to these guys? We've got signals, we've got field hospitals, we've got maintenance, logistics, engineering, recon. I'm going to add a signals battalion to our tank force. Signals will give us better manpower. It will allow us to, we'll have a boost to motorize, boost to support, a little bit more HP. Probably, I would say, not one of the more useful support divisions, but handy nonetheless. I like to have a lot of support divisions assigned, or all 5 support divisions assigned to my primary divisions, which are the infantry and the panzers. Got a little bit more experience to play with here. I'm going to add in a field hospital to my infantry divisions, and also a signal company to them as well. We'll save that. Great. Let's check in with our own logistics. Support requirements are starting to get pretty heavy, and we've got some needs for motorized items. Our infantry equipment is well in the green now, so we can start reassigning some of our production factories here. I'm going to drop back, wow, I'm going to drop back a fair bit actually. Let's just roll them back to here. Getting a bit of lag actually on my end. Don't know where that's coming from. All right, so it's reassigning that now to the support factories. Let's just recheck our logistics again. Infantry equipment. I might even roll that back just a little bit more and reassign them to the support divisions. In the meantime, let's keep building up our political advisors here. We will assign a chief of navy. Donitz, actually, you know what? Let's go from this side back. Let's get our military high command into play. Who do I like? Who's the guy that reduces attrition? Schorner? Nope. Runstead? Division recovery rate, that is a handy one. Where's the guy that comes back on attrition? I don't think I've actually unlocked him. Army logistics, yes. Von Fleisch is a go. Attrition is going to be everywhere. As long as we're fighting a war, we're going to have attrition. Least amount of attrition or less amount of attrition, the more fighting soldiers we'll have to use in our attacks. So wherever we can minimize that, the better. All right, I'm just going to do a little bit more reassigning on my production lines here. I'm going to boost up, come down more on my infantry weapons and boost up my support equipment. And also motorized. Some support divisions will require motorized units to be deployed. So let's just balance that out a little bit better. Our motorized units down here. Let's just bump these guys up by a couple of units. I know that as I'm soon to start mass producing Panzers, that we're going to need a lot of motorized units in the army. Let's get some more resources off Hungary. Ideally, I don't want to go over half of my available factories or civilian factories. So far, we've got 19 out of 45, so we've still got a fair few of them to trade away. Is there anything else? Aluminium? I believe we've got all the aluminium we need, yeah? Surplus of 3. Yep, that's all good. Gonna check out my fighter production, see how that's coming along. Got 1,100 fighters built. End of thing. Yeah, I'd say we're pretty much on track. We're so far so good with our fighters. I probably will though, just to be better safe than sorry. I always underestimate my fighter production, to be honest with you. I'm going to bump them up by a factory each line. So when these become available, they'll be assigned to the fighter lines here. All right, lovely. Military factory production's coming along well. We've unlocked all this territory in here with the annexation of Czechoslovakia. So let's just fill up this tile here. So we've got this nice cluster of military factories. I probably will, for a construction goal, start lining up or building up the actual infrastructure along the western front to make sure that I don't run into any supply problems when I start stacking up my armies here. Military factories will be the priority, however, so they can come in later. On the Eastern Front, I'll be okay. I'll be moving so fast, and I'll build up my borders, and when I line up against the Soviet Union. Uh, but for now, I'm going to leave them as B. Probably the one that I will boost up though is Königsberg, just because I know its infrastructure is 6 out of 10. It's not good. So let's just pop up Königsberg there. True to the USSR is a go. Fantastic. The next research item that I'll be getting is the Panzer III. Just want to check Army Innovations. What will that give us? That's Panzer Kampfwagen 3 and 4. Soviets accept the German-Soviet treaty. Lovely. Okay, that's fine by me. Yeah, I guess it's just a Molotov-Ribbentrop pack that I really want for now. We've got Danzig for Slovakia, Danzig of War, reassert Eastern claims. It's going to start unlocking these, so we'll have everything we need. World tension is going to go up by 3. We're at 36. I might just peter down on that one now. I might actually. What else have we got? I'm actually going to go and get my extra research slot and start focusing on that. I need Air Innovations 2. So let's go and grab that one. Air Innovations 2. Give us a couple of radars or bonus radar station. And a couple other goodies by the looks of things. Radar research bonus. Jet technology research time goes down, and battlefield support doctrine goes down. We'll get some air experience too, which will be nice. Cool. All right, that's so far so good. Well, I think I'll do national focus wise is I think I should be able to get the extra research slot by the end of 38. That will allow me to get the Molotov-Ribbentrop pack in place. Eastern claims and Danzig or war by the summer of 1939. I do want to go to war with Poland in the summer of 1939. That's my D-Day. So far we're on track. More infantry divisions are available to be deployed. Very good. Let's get them out. Let's check in with our front lines. See what the enemy's doing, or well, the soon-to-be enemy. French have left the same. There's about 28 divisions in Belgium there. In Netherlands, what's that about? About 10-ish. Not much in it in Netherlands. How about our Polish on the Polish front? My research is these divisions here with question marks means that I just can't see them. My encryption tech is not good enough, but I'm working on that right now as we speak. Looks like there really isn't much there at all. I'm going to keep on. I'm going to keep building up the. I might go half and half actually with those 10 guys I've just put down on the field. Where are they? So I'm going to split that in half. I'm going to send half to Von Wykes over there. And the other half, how much is hell? He's got 8. We've got 5 there. Yeah, I'll send some over to him. Cool. Lovely. Got some paratroopers ready to be deployed as well. So let's get those guys to the field. They should have come out around here. There they are. Let's put them in. I'm going to put Student as the paratrooper general. I think he was the actual real life commander of the paratroopers in World War II. I might be incorrect with that. But the reason being, he does have the commando out of supply. As I mentioned prior, last thing we want is just dropping our paratroopers deep in enemy lines, only for them to run out of supply and can't actually attack or defend themselves and get wiped out. It's definitely not what we want. Where's this small? I think that's the garrison at Luxembourg. I don't even think Luxembourg's produced any military units, so we can keep it with these three. Who else can we pop in there? I'll save my Panzer generals, von Kulcher, Kesselring, Reinhardt. Let's put in von Kulcher. Kuchler. Okay, that's all fine. Yeah, I was talking about Panzer Division composition in my last video, but I didn't actually show you the motorized infantry template, which is, well, we've got one SS division currently in the field here. But yeah, we see soft attack on this one is 78, but if we open up a Panzer division, the soft attack, oh, actually it's 97. It's a lot more. Ha! That's because we do have motorized units integrated in our Panzer divisions, and that's given us a good both soft and hard attack. I think really it's just why I like to then have SS and Panzer divisions together in one is it just helps with our supply consumption, particularly when we move into the depths of Russia, where supply really becomes a problem. So supply use is at one. The SS is actually using more. Well, that's a little bit of a surprise. I thought they used less. Piercing initiative, defense. They got huge defense. Hard attack, soft attack. That's about right. Max speed, same as the light tanks. HP, a lot more HP. Organization, recovery. Yeah, look, I still am going to include SS units in my Panzer formations. I thought they had better soft attack, but that's okay because I include motorized in my Panzer division templates. Really, where these SS units will be handy is they'll be able to keep up with the speed of the tanks because their speed is the same. But they've got really high defense and high HP. So as the tanks are punching through the line, the SS units will be covering the flanks of the advance and digging in to ensure that the enemy does not counterattack and cut off your Panzer divisions as they're spearheading into the depths of enemy territory, which would be really sad because when you get your Panzer divisions cut off and destroyed, then they're quite expensive and time-consuming to replace, and we don't want that. All right, let's get some more aluminium off Hungary. Yes. How's our national focus progressing? All good there. Where's the next? Surely we must have something due soon with our research, our defense doctrine. Sorry, our land doctrine's got 12 days. That's good. Looks like Japan's making a slow and steady advance against China, somewhat, kinda, very slow. Their seaborne invasion's going well. Looks like they've gotten a couple of major cities. Xiamen, Fuzhou, and this port down here. Yeah, I'd say Japan will win the war with China eventually. World tension's currently at 35%. It's starting to heat up, that's for sure. Me annexing Czechoslovakia was the one that got it up. Really, I believe Danziger War will bump it up a fair bit, but the Molotov Ribbentrop pack will bring it back down. Actually, no, it doesn't do anything. I thought it did reduce world tension. Anyway, Danziger War, reset Eastern claims will go up by 3. Danzig will put it up by 5. So it's kind of good that I'm going to focus on getting that extra research slot. It will just help reduce the world tension and bring it down a little bit. As I mentioned, if you force world tension up too hard and too fast, everyone will just go to war, and yeah, I don't really want a war before the summer of '39. I really want to make that the kickoff time, so I have to be careful. Okay, let's get some more political military high command assigned. We've got Owen, Rommel, Hergo, air innovations at the 150, close air support, air defense, air agility. Owen Rommel on the armor division, attack and defense. That's a good bonus. We'll most likely do that. Recovery rate for von Lundstedt and Schorner on the. Yeah, I really just want to focus my boosts on the land forces for Germany. We will be fighting mostly. Great, we've got our researchers. We'll be fighting mostly a land war, really. So, wow, 100% on the Panzer III. Thank you. Let's get that bad boy. At least 34-35 Heinz Guderian, Vision 2 basic type sectors. The most numerous equipment for the future German Panzer divisions and first vehicle. Let's just go ahead and get that. The first vehicle was to be armed with an anti-tank gun with 2 machine guns, and the second was to be a support vehicle armed with a large caliber gun. The first one eventually became known as a Panzerkampfwagen III, which was to be the standard tank for the 3 light companies of a tank battalion. The second one became known as the Panzerkampfwagen IV. It's funny, the description considers it as a light or a light company, but it's a medium tank. Anyway, let's get our resources sorted. A little bit more aluminium there. That should research super fast, considering we've got a 100% research bonus on it. 145 days, because again, we are a year ahead for this, but 145, we should getting it to war. We'll get it, yeah, probably it was March, May, June, July, August, around then. All right. Until then, though, we will keep filling the field with our infantry units. So we've just deployed another 10. Let me just zoom up there. I'm going to send 5 to von Rundstedt, plus I want to have 50 divisions on his side. So if we get, let's just actually throw them all over and subtract 2. I'm going to put them over the other 2 into the Königsberg army, where Hell is, and that will give him 15. Okay, over you go. All right. All right, I'm going to, may as well name these armies now. They're starting to take decent shape. I'm going to call von Rundstedt's army. It's not historically accurate, but let's just go Army Group A, because there's a lot of divisions in there. And Hell's army, I'm just going to call it the first army. Usually my field marshal armies, I give them an army group, and my non-field marshal armies, which are limited to uh, 24 divisions. I just give them first, second, third, fourth army. You can get geeky with the names if you wish and be super accurate, but it just takes too much time, in my opinion, to get the army names historically accurate, and you have to be pretty geeky to want to care about that stuff. As long as it makes sense to you, that's all that matters. All right, fighter production is coming along. Where are we? It's getting towards mid 38. I'm getting a little bit anxious. I would like it to be higher than what it currently is. Um, let's just see where our factory. Let's just check in with logistics. 3.3k supporters at 17, and we've got this infantry equipment we need more of. Okay. So checking here, our support equipment is as follows. Motorized is being improved upon. I'm just going to give it one more factory. For each production line of fighters we have going here. I really don't mind having a lack of land-based equipment as long as it's not too great. What I definitely don't want is a lack of or not enough fighters by the time we go to the war. That's really going to make things difficult if we can't win air superiority from day one. All right, nearly there with our air innovations national focus. Probably should have spent that political advisor point changing my conscription policy rather than putting Rommel into play, but oh well, I should have some more points to play very shortly. Improved infantry equipment is has been completed. Don't think I can actually grab the little the Steger Schutz. I have to get the main unit done first. That's fine by me. Where else are we? So it's 1938. I'm actually going to dive in and get the new artillery early. Let's just check with that. Okay, that's still coming along. Yes, I am going to do that. It's a fair bit more stronger from the 1934 artillery, which is currently what the army has. Let's just do a side by side while we're at it. So defense goes up 5 points. Breakthrough goes up a point. Hard attack is the same. Soft attack goes up 10 points. Piercing remains the same. Reliability is the same. And production cost goes up by half a point. The resources, though, the cost to build are the same. So it's a pretty darn good upgrade if you ask me. So I'd like to get that early. Start getting these new guns to the front. And hopefully our infantry divisions will be pretty well equipped with them come mid-39. All right, what else can we work on now? Our infrastructure is our industry tech's good. Our support tech can be improved, so let's work on that. Anything else on? Yeah, no, that's fine, and that's fine. So yep, let's grab the support weapons too. Get a nice defense and breakthrough boost for our support units, and because we have so many of them, that's going to be a good research goal for us to take. Air innovations has been completed. Lovely. How's word tension going? So we're at April. Yep, I'm going to keep pushing through to my research goal. I only need to get 2 more to get that extra research slot. Rocketry. Rocket site construction speed. Well, it'd be nice when we can start building rockets. That won't be till 1940 onwards, though. Rocket research. Time negative 10%. Alright. Need some more rubber, sorry, I'll get that off the Netherlands. Military factory production's coming along pretty well. I might not be so aggressive with my infrastructure development. I think I just maxed out all of those tiles, which is, to be honest, unnecessary. I'm just going to redo that while the timer keeps on ticking. All right, so that's at 7. Let's pop that up, and we're going to pop that up to 8. And that's at 6. Let's pop that up to 8 too. +1, +2. Yep. Okay. Happy with that. All right. Another line of infantry ready to be deployed. Let's drop those guys down. Let's check in on the Western Front. Let's see how the French are going here. Looks like they're starting to. Can't tell that they've just split it up. 34, 6, 4, and 5. So it's probably about 45-ish. On the Belgian theater, looks like there is 7, 38, 28. Sorry, there. I don't really garrison the Danish border, but I don't really bother with the Danish, to be honest with you. They aren't a threat. Let's go. So we've got 24 down there. That's plenty, to be honest. Let's make sure they are actually assigned. Oops. That was a little mistake. Can I unassign that? And let's put that back to Von Wykes. All right, that's all good. Going to check in with our supply, our army supply. So currently they've got 25. They've got support at 110. They've got heaps. Nice. All right, I'm going to move these. I'm going to put some tanks over there. They'll consume up. All right, I'll give them to von Rundstedt's army, Army Group A. Let's just separate those paratroopers. Wait. All right, let's get those guys up to the front there. My paratroopers should be forming up down at this airbase. I'll actually deploy my transport planes here. I've got 21 of them. I might just do a little. Oops, no, they're still there. I might just do a little bit of a test run. Just pretend that we're setting up an aerial invasion. We have to actually be. Please move the cursor. Yeah, we have to be at war to actually sit the drop point down, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, I'm just going to start popping in the transport planes that we have. Got 21 of them. Let's deploy them. Right, they'll be arriving shortly. Japan's still making some small-ish gains against China. I bet you they are taking a horrible, horrible death toll. But anyway, we'll be much more smarter in the way we wage war. None of this human wave garbage, like our Soviet friends will be doing. Fools. All right, 65 subs in our U-boat fleet. It's not a decent figure. It's not a bad figure, sorry. I think our transport plane should be on the ground now. Very nice. Might just try that once more. The controls for doing airborne invasions and naval invasions are pretty cumbersome, to be kind. Ah, yes, I have to have the planes there first. Let's just say if we wanted to drop them behind Panzer. No, that wouldn't be a good target. Let's go behind Lodz and Warsaw. So that would be fine to deploy. Fear enemy. And they've got no problem handling that amount of troop against that transport. All right, that's good. Just want to make sure that we don't have enough transport planes to actually move the paratroopers we have in the field and vice versa. You just got to make sure that we're balancing the production there. But so far, it looks like we're fine. All right, political points are available. Let's change our conscription to extensive. That will bring us from 2.5 to 5%. The loss of that is that our training time will go down. But at least we'll be able to source enough men to the front to fill our divisions. Which is so far coming along well. Got another 2 more paratroopers here that I'm going to deploy. I'll probably make a second army of paratroopers at this stage. I like to do multiple point drops. I might even go in from Königsberg. Yeah, let's do that. Königsberg is the city. I just call this region Königsberg because, well, why not? It makes it easy. I can't actually pronounce what the territory is. I think I have to move these guys up to the ports first before I move them over. Oops. You want help? Let's just make things easy for me. I will move them over to, where's the closest? Stettin? Stettin. Let's put them over there. Who shall we put as the second leader? Might stick on Henrikian. His Fortress Buster skill is handy, particularly if you drop in your paratroopers behind a fortified area, then attack them from the rear, which is what I like to do. That bonus can be quite useful. What I'm going to do is just balance these forces out a little bit. I'm going to move 2 divisions over to Henrique's force here. Get them moved to this airbase. We're going to pack our transport planes away for the time being. I'll deploy them when we're just about to hit the battlefield. Some more aluminium. That would be as our fighter production lines are now increasing. We need more aluminium for more fighters. Let's check in and see how that's going. If I actually navigate to the right panel here, Oh dear, having a bit of a kerfuffle with the controls. What am I doing? That was production, logistics, recruit and deploy. Dear oh me, that took way too long. Okay, so that is almost set. 3 more factories, and we've hit our initial production targets for the fighters. Let's see how many units we've got. So 1400, yeah, 1400. Getting towards the middle of 38. Now, kind of need to double that, to be honest, in the space of a year. So I might even bump it up just a little bit more. Let's get a full top line, or full 5 factories on each line. All right, very good. Logistics, motorized, still need a ton of support equipment. It might have been too aggressive with assigning all those 5 support battalions to start with, but anyway, that's all right. We'll just keep building up our military factories and keep throwing them into our support divisions. Sorry, our support production lines. Probably anything that we can sacrifice on. Let's just have a look, a check in. Naval bombers, I'm happy with how those are coming along. Don't really come back on those. Infantry weapons, they can stay the same. Motorized can stay there. Yeah, let's just keep it as is. And wait for our military factories to come online. Might start lining a few more up for development. Let's go add some more into Upper Austria. Pop that to the top. Alrighty, at the halfway point, June 1938. As our national focus progressing, good. Just need a, once rocketry is done, how many days are left on that? About another 30 so days, month time. Then we can get our extra research slot, which will be 2 months. So what's that? July, August, September, and then from there we can reassert Eastern claims, get the pack, and that should, yeah, that should put us in position for Danziger War, which is basically the national focus that, when triggered, you basically tell Poland, give us Danzig, or we're going to start World War II. Of course, Poland isn't going to hand it over. They'll get the British guarantee and French guarantee that if they are invaded, then they'll come into play, and then, yes, as history wrote, that will be the beginning of the Second World War. All right. Oops, I'll get von Weich's training as well. Most of my troops are getting a respectable amount of experience from this. Imaginary Lines army is all pretty much as experienced as they can be, pending a couple of formations there. I think I've got another line of infantry that I can put into the field. Yeah, I can do that. Let's have a quick check in to see how the enemy is going. They've got about 45 divisions by looks of things on the French side. The Polish are going to get steamrolled, well, just as they did in the Second World War. They really have got very little if my recon, my signaling is correct. They just got really. Oh no! See, it's like flashing divisions around. They're probably just moving them around, but I doubt that they've got many at all. Anyway, let's go struck these 10 into the Maginot Line. I know they're just defenders, but I'll probably then siphon off 10 and then from that line and use them to garrison Poland once I've defeated them. So let's add them in to von Bock. Alrighty. What's it giving us there? Is it because they're being trained? No, they're not. Let's get them training. No orders assigned yet. That's okay. So it looks like they got about one division covering each square on the front compared to our 2 to 4 divisions. So yeah, we certainly have got numerical superiority at this stage. All right. National focus rocketry is almost done. How's our research coming along? 60 days until our fabled Panzer III units are completed. 94 days for our improved artillery. Those are probably the two biggest military technology breakthroughs. They're in the works right now. So that'll be, where are we? June, July, August. August, yeah, we'll have our. That's what I predicted, right? August we'll have our Panzer IIIs, which is pretty good. August 1938. That should give us about a year to get the Panzer divisions together with the good equipment and to the front. So far everything's falling to plan. Japan's still kicking on. That is just a complete stalemate up in the north here. I think they actually oh no, they got Beijing. They've gotten Beijing, so they're making slow progress. I think then Juko has been pushed back by the non-communist Chinese. They've broken through on the front there, so that's not looking good for them. But they're making good progress here in the south on their land-based invasion, moving up and taking the ports of China, probably going up to Nanjing, I'd say would be the AI's goal, but the AI really is not that smart at all in this game. All right, we've just gotten rocketry. Let's go and grab our extra research slot without wasting a day. The more that we can research at once, the faster we can ship superior technology to the front. It's as simple as that. Having a technology edge with Germany will certainly, and with any country, help us defeat the enemy that has inferior technology. I do certainly like how the technology side has been managed or taken or executed in Hearts of Iron 4. It's really nice. It's fairly straightforward, linear. Bring in the rocket artillery when we get rocket science in 1940s and can go through and build up the. They had a funny name. I forgot what they called. I'm not gonna even try to pronounce it. The German rocket artillery. But it's nice how they give you some information about it, a little bit of background about the technology, give some context. As you can see, because we haven't been focusing on annexation, and also everyone else has been quiet in terms of waging new wars. Our our world tension is going down. It was at 35% when the Japanese kicked off the war, or when we annexed Czechoslovakia, but now it's going down to 33. So that's good. I'll be able to, when I go reassert my eastern claims, I think that's going to put it up by 2. So that'll bring it back to 35%. We didn't go to war and kick off a world war at 35%. So I hope that will go up by 3. So when it goes back to that, everyone should be pretty okay, if not starting to panic slightly, as I'm sure a lot of countries in Europe were in the middle of 1938. All right. Got some more paratroopers to deploy. That's nice. I might even form up a third army. I have a 3-pronged air invasion. I'll cover my strategy for Poland once I've hit the end of this year and basically in the build-up to the Polish War in 1939. But for now, let's just get our land units in the right position. Let's move this guy down here to the south and start up a new army down to Brno. Okay, got some political points here that we can use. Let's fill out our last military high command. This is always a tough one. Do we do Schorner, who gives us better infantry division attack and defense, or von Rundstedt, which will give us a better recovery rate? Decision. I think I'm going to go for a recovery rate. Recovery rate means that after an attack, then your divisions will be able to launch a counterattack or the second attack faster because they can recover and then attack quicker. I know that my divisions already will have good attack and defense, particularly when I start lining up that advanced artillery into them. Let's just see if I should have enough army experience saved up to do so. Artillery 5, 15, 10, and 15 will get us there. I'm not going to worry about anti-tank for Poland, maybe for France. We'll see how we progress. All right, how's our research coming along? 1 more month for the Panzer Kampfwagen 3. 2 months for the improved artillery. Nearly about to get our computing machine, which is probably a side with arguably even more important than machinery. Industry tech is our computing machine, which allows us to decrypt, so allows us to read the amount and divisions and composition of the army before the enemy, before we actually attack them, and then also encrypt our signals so that they can't see how many divisions we've amassed on their side, so they don't know where the garrisons are, how much, or what they're up against, put simply. All right, logistics are more or less the same. Our fighter production is at 1600 now, so it's starting. I mean, it's only 1,400 a month or two ago, so it is starting to pick up quite rapidly. You can certainly have you certainly cannot have enough fighters. That's for sure. I don't mind if I overproduce fighters. I'd much rather overproduce than underproduce, if you ask me. All right, just keeping an eye on everything. Doing a stat check, really. Military factories have been produced, aside from the one that we're going to be putting in Upper Austria. Looks like we've already completed building in Upper Austria. Let's drop some more in. All right, so I want to get decryption first, and then encryption second. So the French have now got 50 divisions on that Maginot Line versus our 45, so we're pretty much parlay there. Belgium the same. Netherlands, how many of I got there? 12, and they've got 7 and 6, so they got about 12 there as well. So we're a parlay there too. Polish are just probably not taking it seriously, and completely unawares of the grave threat that lies in front of them. I don't think I actually did. Did I set up a? I didn't actually set these guys up as an army. Let's do that. Who should I add in? Let's put Kesselring in. I think he had. I'm not sure if he was an army or an air force Luftwaffe general. No, he was army. It was a. I think it was deployed down in Italy or something like that in the war. I probably will only build another 2 more paratroopers and then actually cut the production line at that stage. 3 paratrooper armies is enough. 4 divisions each army is nice. I might even pop that up to 6 divisions per army. All right, we've got some more tech available here. Let's get our encryption going in line with our decryption there. To do logistics on the paratroopers, maybe I will add an engineer, which will allow them to create entrenchments and really just boost their defense right up. Typically, when a paratrooper unit's deploy, then the enemy will peel off from the front and then move units to attack it. Obviously, the benefit of that is when they start peeling off from the front line, we can punch through it and just create utter confusion. But the paratroopers have to be able to defend themselves, so we certainly don't want to be losing any. So I'll probably add an engineering unit to it. I'm just conscious of my supply or support equipment consumption at 18,000 deficit, which is a lot. But yes, as our military factories come online, then we'll keep forcing them through. I'll probably just start graying in some extra units to go, or factories to go into support, because I'm happy with how my fighter production is coming along. I might even just peel back to that 4 four factories, sorry, per production line for the fighters. Okay, I'm going to fill out 2 full lines of support equipment on all 3 areas. 4, sorry. Lovely. A little bit more aluminium. Grab that off Hungary. It's nice when your trading partner is boarded with you. You don't have to send convoys that will get destroyed by all the enemy's fleets. Wonder how is our resource and trade looking? So currently producing exported, imported surplus of 7. So we're going to have a lack of oil when we lose. Oh no, because we'll be able to trade with the Soviet Union. We'll be okay there. Aluminium will soon have a surplus. We'll go closed economy. Rubber, as soon as we get into Dutch East Indies or Indonesia, then we will be fine there. Yes, the Panzer III is produced. Well, the technology is there. That's great. Let's go and get. Oops. Let's get the Grilly next. The Cricket of self-propelled artillery. Self-propelled artillery piece that was used by Germany during World War II. About up to 500 were produced. They were used by panzer divisions in the Soviet Union, along with the units in Poland and France. Were used up to 1945 and also served in Tunisia, where they fought enemy artillery and tanks. Right, I'm going to start pimping out my panzer divisions. So let's get rid of these light tanks now and replace them with the medium tank, the Panzer III. So I'm now swapping these out from light tanks to medium tanks. Awesome. I'll save that for now. I will come back to my production line and trade out or swap out my light tank production lines with the medium tank. I'm not going to spend any XP or army experience updating the Panzer III. I just don't have enough. I still need to do more chopping and changing on my divisions, and I need to spend army XP there to get the division templates right. I'll get some good army XP from the war with Poland, and at that stage, I'll probably then upgrade the Panzer III and apply army experience to it at that stage. What I'm going to do is I'm going to 600 in need, yeah, because we're not producing any yet. That's why we don't need many. I'm actually going to move these to the top of the production line so that they have production priority. I'm also going to move the motorized to the top as well, because motorized are in the Panzer Division templates, so I want to have them priority. Will be given priority as well. All right, that's looking good so far. So I only have 600 tanks in total, so I'll need 600 then to upgrade them to the Panzer III. Just going to hold on to these guys. As soon as I get that self-propelled artillery, I'll apply it to the tank division. Then at that stage, I'm going to cut my infantry production and paratrooper production, and then just go all in on building Panzer divisions for Germany. Only 4 more days now till I get that unit. Once I'm on top of my production lines, I'll add a third line, a third battalion line to these. I'll go to Panzers and Motorized and an anti-tank unit as the the fourth combat unit on that third line. That can come a bit later on. All right, 1 more day left. And we've got our extra research slot. And France and Britain have announced an alliance. Great. Oops, I think the game's like bugged up on me. It's moving itself around without even me controlling it. Oh gosh, what is going on? Alright, that stopped it. Alright, I'm going to get the Sturmgeschütz assault gun as well. My new production line here. Going to do a bit of work on my infantry. You know, they're all good. Let's do some. Let's go grab some land doctrines. Let's keep building that up. The Blitzkrieg armored spearhead, perfect. Just what I need. Great. Let's get the national focus rolling. We're going to move on the Molotov-Ripton. Actually, no, let's go Eastern Claims first. We've got some XP here we can apply. Let's go put that into the Chief of the Air Force. Goering, Air Support, or Kesselring, Air Experience. I find that the air races that you can win in the game through winning air battles give huge bonuses to your air fleet. So I want to go after air experience so that we can actually, I think I've got that around the wrong way. Air experience is what we'll be able to gain to then upgrade our planes and make them awesome. So that way we're not just limiting ourselves to ground attack planes, we can upgrade our fighters and naval bombers and everything. All right, now let's get our panzer divisions together. So I want the self-propelled artillery added in there. Soviet withdrawal. Soviet Union has appeared to have unexpectedly withdrawn their units to station. Right, okay, so that means that the Soviets aren't going to, probably the Soviets and the Japanese won't fight each other in the short term. They'll be moving those troops over to our front, though, the European front, which is not going to exactly be welcome, but we will deal with them in due time. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch out a Panzer line there, the self-propelled artillery gun, and I'll save one for the Sturmgeschütz, or the Stug. Okay, let's get our infantry deployed, our paratroopers out. I'm going to now stop producing infantry. And paratroopers, why not? And start producing Panzer and SS divisions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, oops, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to get those guys to spit out in the center of Germany. And we've got our SS divisions to go the same place. So let's add another 10 lines there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. We'll give these guys, where are we, September 38? Yeah, I'm going to give them high priority, particularly the tanks. I want my tanks in the field as soon as possible. Okay, let's get a little bit more oil. Let's grab that off the Soviets. And some tungsten. Get that off the Soviets too. All right, move our 10 divisions off somewhere. I might throw them into von Rundstedt's army. We're going to completely overwhelm the Polish. I know it. That's okay. We'll need to park well, we're pretty much going to have to park half this army on the border with the Russians, with the USSR. So I don't mind going in with an overwhelming force, considering that we're going to have to lose half of them to the border garrison. All right, we're going to move these 2 new paratroopers over to my 3rd paratrooper army. I've set up down here in Czechoslovakia, which has now been annexed. So let's get those guys to come over here. 70 divisions now on the German border of Poland. Oops, I'm using the wrong keystroke on that one. Sign, lovely. Might give von Rundstedt a nice blue color in the shield. And then I'll give the panzers a red, so they're easy to see when I draw the battle lines. Great, we've got our artillery there. So what I'm going to do now is go over to our production lines. I'm going to swap out our old artillery here with the new one. I'm going to give this priority. Now I'm going to go to our division template. Let's get our research moving so we don't waste anything. Where are we? 38. Anything on the infantry side? No, I think we can just focus on doctrines right now. Let's go off air. Grab that. And start building up our commerce rating. Doctrine for our U-boat fleet. Okay, so sorry, as I were, let's now get our infantry division template to include our artillery formations. Artillery and artillery and 1 anti-tank. I think I have to add an anti-tank template to it. That's fine. I will do it. Anti-tank, sorry, production line. Oops, looks like one of the Japan's allies is out of the war. That's going to suck for them. Let's do a little switcheroo here. There we go. All right. I think we're going to need here. We need a lot of equipment. Um, that's okay. Since we have such overwhelming numbers, even if we don't have all of this equipment to the front by the time we go to war, we'll still be all right. We're certainly not going to lose, but really just want to make sure we got all of our equipment in play by 1941, which we should definitely have. So, all good. What else can we do in the time being? Could do some stuff for the S now. Look, I'm not going to honestly bother with the SS. What have they got here? They've got support artillery, an engineer, and recon. I might switch that support artillery out with a maintenance company. Yeah, I will do that once I've got enough military experience. Let's get our paratrooper, a fourth one there. Might start naming, give these guys some names. So, von Manstein, we'll have the first. Panzer Army. Student. I think they call this like the Fleischjager Full something. It's had a really cool name to it, but this will be the first. I'll use the English. Paratrooper Army. Henrique will have the second. Oops. Trooper Army. And Castellung will have the third. That fit? Great. That's really annoying where it breaks to a second line. For the sake of keeping it all in one line, I'm just going to use the second then with these guys. So when I quickly mouse over to them, I'll know exactly who they are. Lovely. I'm going to give these guys their own color. We'll just make them all orange, eh? Great. Panzers will be red. Probably thinking, why the hell are you even bothering with colors, James? You'll see when I start drawing these battle lines, it certainly helps to have things color coordinated. Alright, Hell, I will give him like a different type of blue. Give him that lighter blue. Cool. Alright. Yeah, we need a lot of equipment, and the reason why we need so much is because we just started producing these divisions from just focusing on infantry up until these dates, up until this date. That's okay. As I mentioned, we will make sure that we can get this to the point where it's sustainable. Might have to do a little bit of shuffling of resources here just to get some more balance. Let's check with our fighter production. I might wind it down if we're well on track with our production numbers. Well, we've got 2 grand or 2,000. Yeah, no, I'm going to keep it. That's on track. That's pretty much exactly the amount for this point in time. So Oh, we need just equipment everywhere, really. That's okay. Let's just keep on focusing on building these. Let's just stop building infrastructure, eh? Let's get our production factories going. Let's throw some more down there. Our military factories. Put in one in here. And one in there to fill the gap, why not? Might pull back on these ones on the Polish border, just because I know the Polish will attack them. And that one there. All right, lovely. Wonder how Japan is going. Haven't checked in them in a while. So yeah, they're getting pushed back in the north. That's for sure. It looks like China might actually have the initiative now. Aside from, I mean, they're advancing in the south, kind of. Not really. It's kind of been contained. Looks like China now has the initiative. So they might win. That's going to be interesting. Like I said, it's not. Japan really doesn't do much at all to aid the German war effort. I do definitely, as I've been saying, want to get the Netherlands so I can secure their resources, Indonesia. And having Japan there, I mean, it does take the pressure off from the French and British colonies that are sort of kicking around here. The Japanese Navy is quite strong, as long as they don't commit it stupidly, like they did in history and have it all wiped out in one battle, or more or less wiped out. All right, how's our production coming along? Panzer divisions do take longer to produce than infantry. That is certainly a fact. We've got 3 here that are ready to be deployed. 4. That's good. I'm going to wait till we have got 6, which will be any minute now, and that will give us 10. 10 for von Manstein's 1st Panzer Army. All right, getting towards the end of 1938 here. Anything on the... No, we're all good there. Land doctrines coming along, as with naval, as with air. Might go for an early grab of the 1938's technology. Oops, I forgot about our radar. Let's get that. All right, well, we've almost got all 10 ready to be deployed. I will wait till we have got that whole line. I'll just drop them all at once. Lovely. Might just back down then. I'm going to put that onto medium reinforcement priority so I can just start balancing that out with the Panzer, with the SS divisions that we have got a production line for. All right, I'm going to throw these into Manstein's army. Make sure they're being trained. Then I'm going to move 4 of them out and start creating the 2nd Panzer Army. Whoops, just lost my place there. Who shall we put? Guderian or Rommel? I think I'm going to put in Guderian for this one. Rommel will come into play shortly. We'll get him training. We're going to move him to the position here in Königsberg. We will put him right there. So Guderian will now have the 2nd Panzer Army. Color code him to red. All right, and our last political advisor, Chief of the Navy. Well, this is pretty no-brainer. We want Donitz for our convoy rating. We're not bothering with a surface fleet, or building one at the very least, so. I just realized that they put like geniuses and experts in brackets there. According to the game, then Rommel is the genius. Do they consider Guderian a genius? They don't give him a actual marking if he's a genius or not. Anyway. Okie dokie. Well, I have to say, so far so good. We've had a good 1938. We've more or less hit our production goals. The Panzer units are coming out into the field. Do I have a? I don't have anything assigned for the 1st Panzer Army. I'll start doing that very shortly. Lithuania has given the port of Memel to us. That's nice. All right, I'm going to. Where are we? End of not even 39 yet. Don't need to get the pact just yet. The later I leave the pact, then the longer it will last. And yeah, as I said, the last thing I want is the Soviets attacking me and breaking the pact. I want to break the pact and surprise attack the Soviets. So I don't want to get that too early. All right, so we've got Memel. That's in our hands. Very good. What I will then do is I might just work on things like industry and infrastructure, the boring stuff. Naval innovation, the Panzer items, the research bonus, air innovations, some air bases. Yeah, that's nice. We'll get some air bases in play. Lovely. So yeah, we'll probably just work on our get a couple of non-war related items or research bonuses in the air tree. I've got how much we'll need. We'll need about 70-ish days for the pact and 70 days for Danziger War, so about 4 months. Yeah. All right. The next one I'll do is I'll get the Molotov-Liptov pack, and then I'll get Danziger War or War. And with that timeline, we should be about mid 1939. So we are on track. Okay, let's leave those guys unnamed. Technology is coming along well. So I'm checking our supply looks like with those tank units now. Over in, I don't think we'll be able to fit too many more. We're using 24 out of 29. Probably move another 4 if we're lucky tank units over there without going without being too heavy on supply. Got no shortage of supply over here. Might start maneuvering Manstein's army into his start position, which should be this nice open plain here. Perfect tank country. So I'm going to create his spearhead right there. I'll get into the tactics of why I'm using these super short fronts for my Panzer divisions. I'll get into that when I on the next video where I talk about 1939 and the invasion of Poland. But for now, I'm just going to make sure everyone's in the right position. One of the toughest things to manage in this game is making sure that your army is not, well, basically can't be supplied. And as you can see here, and using the supply map mode, I can see exactly how much, by hovering over each province, how much supply or how many units that province can supply or support, basically, from an army perspective. And as we can see over in this Königsberg territory, we're currently consuming 24 supply, and we can support 29. So if we go over 29 supply, or if we move too many units in, then we won't be able to supply them effectively, which will give really big, I think like almost 40 to 50% loss in attack and defense modifiers to the army, which is a really big hit. Something you definitely need to avoid is moving too many units into too small of an area and running out of or running low on supplies. It's a tough one, probably one of the toughest aspects of this game to manage, without a question of a doubt. What should I get next? We're about to tick over into 39. I might start grabbing some 39 industry tech. Let's go and get concentrated industry. So what I'm going to do here, ladies and gentlemen, I'll let it play out to the 1st of January 1939, and I will stop the video there. And part 5 will be starting from 39. Really, the focus will be the build-up and setting up and drawing the battle lines and getting everything in position for the invasion of Poland. And I'll cover through and complete that video up until the defeat of Poland. Then at that stage, I'll look at making then part 6, which will be all about the invasion of France. But yes, I'm very happy with our 1938 playthrough here. We've hit all the goals that I've needed to hit, and we're coming along quite well. I'm quite happy. How many fires we got? 1,000, 2,000. So we've broken over 2,000 in our fighter production. That's good. Yeah, that's really good. Air innovations on the play. When does Rudolf Hess fly away? I think he goes into 1940. He flies off. Strange guy. I actually realized that's a national spirit, German rocketry. Well, the Germans did like their rockets, that's for sure. Makes sense. Our U-boat fleet is up to almost 80 U-boats. Very nice. Panzer divisions are starting or are close to the point where they can start to be deployed as well. I might go, I'm just thinking, I'm probably going to go 8 into Guderian's army. I currently have got 10 in Manstein's army. I'll probably then I'll get Rommel and create a third army of 10 units. I'll put him down on the southern wing, down here, and probably have him go through and do a pincer maneuver into Warsaw as Manstein moves in from the north, and Guderian. All right. I'll do a bit of balancing as well when these SS divisions are ready. I'd like to have half and half, so 5 Panzer to 5 motorized, or 12 Panzer to 12 motorized in a fully outfitted army. Got my little radar there. Might start prioritizing the SS division production, actually. I do want to get these guys to the front as soon as possible. I'm going to start creeping into this 1939 industry tech now. Going to start setting up that, let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'll leave 5 there. 5 Panzer divisions for Manstein. And let's get Rommel. He will have the 3rd Panzer Army. And I'm going to move him down to the south. Probably should edit that front line just a slight touch there. Don't want him to be storming through a damn city as his first move of the war. Not in an armored division. Okay. We'll get him training. One thing I like to do is, actually no, it doesn't matter. All right, we're almost at the end of 1938, just a couple more days now. The SS divisions are now close to being ready. I think I really need to up my tank production. I'm gonna move these guys to the top of the production line. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is now the 1st of January 1939. I'm going to pause up this video here, and, well, I'm going to end this video here, and I will see you for Part 5, 1939, and the invasion of Poland. I can't wait. All right, I'll see you all soon.